just made it to the train. Come down here to go find me a safe place to study and read my email. But somebody's just telling me about the train that keeps going back and forth. There's nothing I can do about it, but I just thought I'd, put it in the video or whatever while I'm out here rock hounding or whatever. I'm so grateful that I'm not pressed for time this morning, because that's something that can bring on anxiousness, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I should go this way or just, I'm not sure, but I don't know. This person is telling me about the train or whatever as if I have some type of say-so or control. I don't know what to do, right? So what I learned to do when I get nervous and stuff like that, I rock hound. See? Rock hounding. That's what I do. I collect rocks when I find myself going through different stuff like that. I mean, it's out of your control. What are you gonna do about it? Right? Pick the train up and throw the mother lover? You know what I'm saying? Whatever the reason is that we need to be working or practicing our patience this morning. I'm not gonna allow someone else's emotion to put me in to their emotion. We can allow other people's triggers to manipulate us into freaking out too, right? We understand, oh my goodness, we're pressed for time, or I'm guilty of it too, right? As human people, this man-made calendar and time and stuff like that, where, it's not really real, but it's something that, has been put together years and years and years, eons, right? So we get nervy. Oh, I'm going to be late. Bosses, they want to let us go or give us warnings, at school, daycare, whatever, because they have a policy that they have to stick with. There are guidelines that they have to follow. You know what I'm saying? If we want to keep it professional and we want to be taken seriously and things of that sort, right? This is another way of coping that I came up with a long time ago, before my homelessness began. So therefore, when we got into the homelessness, we were able to survive it. We were able to live through it, right? We were able to live through it for the simple fact is we had practice. Life is always putting us through rehearsal, right? We're always being tested. It's a movie starring you. What are you wearing today, right? Be grateful. You got your oxygen, right? And if you were a cartoon character, what colors would you have on today, right? It don't have to be the same every day. If you were, in your favorite movie or something like that, some shit, put something together for yourself. If you put something together for yourself, can't nobody tell you that you can't do that. That doesn't look right. That doesn't go together. This is your show, right? Your book, your stuff, right? Oh my goodness. Anyways, I did a really great job back there. I didn't cuss the guy out, like, what do you want me to do about it, right? Hello. Like, what can I do? Anyways, we're gonna find a nice spot that makes us feel all professional and where we can focus, right? I learned how this mental health brain works, right? I made it to a season of my life and learned certain things about me that I wasn't so proud of, that actually frightened me and had me embarrassed and wanting to isolate. And then I learned that I'm just as human as you, right? You can't give me my oxygen supply, and if you try to take it, I'm calling for help, right? Anyways, we made it through building some patience there at the train, choo choo, at the crossroads where decision making, right? Where oftentimes we feel alone or we feel pressured in making a decision. For some examples, you ended up hanging out, and now you're trying to decide because you didn't take that morning after pill, and now things aren't going very well. Now you're trying to flip a coin. Should you allow life to grow inside of you, or should you terminate everything? Right? Another example, things just aren't working out, but you've concocted some things together and it's been years. Children are involved. You thought it through. You saw some things. You know the truth now. This is what it is. You have to choose you. Process through, do the paperwork, get those babies to safety. The children aren't well if the provider, the caregiver, is not well enough to care for them. Always remember that if you're not well enough and you're being taken advantage of and you're not able to care for yourself, those babies are suffering too. From my personal experience, and I am not trying to shame anybody, right? I'm just as human as you. Another example, right? At the crossroads. I keep on keeping on with all of this. Good morning to you too. Keep on keeping on with picking up this, whatever it is that it serves me no purpose. It could be, over drinking. It could be overdoing anything. Could be to your detriment, right? So you make that decision. Are you going to let it go? Are you going to keep it in your life, right? You have the control over your self-care. No one can force you to get up and get your exercise the way that you need it, right? If you have been fantasizing and wanting a six-pack, or you've been wanting dreadlocks, right? All it takes is one day you getting up and writing about it, and then to follow that writing, you get up each day and write some more, and you follow that map or that blueprint that you've created for yourself. And because you've created that, you can call it whatever you want to call it, a mission statement, a map, goals, whatever. And you get up each day and you follow that unique guide for yourself. And this always, no matter what, you'll always have something to live for. If people walk away, if people, whatever, you always have this, right? I have them everywhere. I have so many different books and trapper keepers or binders and different stuff where I made so many goals. When I was in that season of my life where I kept telling myself, if I survive this season of my life, I'm never going to put myself in a situation like this again. I'm going to take my time. When I fell, I took my time, because after I divorced my husband, I ended up allowing my husband to come and play in my face and do me dirty and abuse me and, play around, talking reckless to our children and everything. But I allowed BS in Minnesota and the Twin Cities. I couldn't allow it to grow here, right? So at the crossroads, I learned about the African Orishas. I learned about the important chakras. I learned about the archangels. I learned about the energy of color, the energy of sound, healing rocks and crystals, and so much more. I've been on this journey. The journey going within, it requires your patience. It requires your trust, right? And sometimes, right, you will be alone, but you're not alone, right? That spirit that you can't see, it's there. That inner knowing where you just knew, right? So I am not going to be able to stay out today until the library opens. My plan is to, as I'm setting up my office, since I've never really had an office, I've always used my imagination. What I learned is I've been playing house as a grown adult. And the more and more I play house in a safe way, after I put my addictions down and stuff like that, it's like I've allowed myself to create these different characters, right? That are making life better for me. And speaking of characters, let me go ahead and get off of here so I can make a phone call to figure out what's going on with my internet. Okay? Certain things that I can't get done at home because I can't seem to focus or concentrate. I learned that I have to get out of the house and go someplace where I can focus, right? Using my imagination. I'm headed to my office. I got this backpack. If I need to go into anywhere, they'll still let me in. They won't say, we don't let people with backpacks in, right? So, so as we're, keep stopping in the library and, sit down and read our email. This is my internet here in this little bag, so we have the internet, but I'm not understanding why my cell phone is not connecting to it. It's saying there's no service. Now, there's no service on this iPhone, but connected to the internet, I can have apps on it and stuff like that, and I can go live. I'm getting everything together, right? I have been trying, and I learned that when I allow help to come help me, I get detoured. They end up distracting me from what I'm supposed to be doing, and they try to get me to do what they want me to do. Right? It's so disappointing, but it is what it is, And just because that is what it is, it doesn't mean that I can't still love, who I love and how I love. I just have to love me more, and I have to go, away from the distractions so that I can, get myself together, right? I cannot, I cannot just sit around and, hang out with people that they don't wish me well. What they want to do is just take whatever they can get from me. And I get it. I get it. I get it. It's so magical. I promise you. But anyways, we are going to go ahead and sit out here for a little bit and conduct some business, and then we'll get back to where we need to go. All right, I'm gonna send this up. Have an amazing Friday. You're into the week. You want to close that thing like when you started on Monday, you was ready. You want to end Friday where you dot your I's and cross your T's. So this weekend you can enjoy yourself safely and effectively. All right? All right. Be well.